Hey there everyone, so we are halfway through this 28-day real food challenge, and I gotta tell you, I am so proud of this group for everything that I am seeing. I am seeing everyone getting involved in the conversation, sharing what they're doing with their food and how they're making their food work for them. I am so happy to be part of the team of trainers that is sharing their tips and tricks with everyone just to make the food portion of their lifestyle even easier to incorporate into their daily lives. And it is just so incredible, all the information that we are sharing. So I am so proud to be part of this group. But for today, what I really want to do is kind of go back to the beginning and dig in a little bit deeper on the why it's so important for you to track your food and how big of a difference it really does make for you in your weight loss journey, particularly if you are pursuing a weight loss journey. So I'm going to show you guys why that is so important here today. So here on my board, I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a chart to pretty much demonstrate like how the numbers all play a role. So here along the bottom, I'm going to give you the days of the week plus a weekly average, because that's an additional number I'm going to give you at the end, and I'm going to explain how that is incredibly important a little bit later. So we got our Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then our weekly average. And then this line right here is just going to pretty much represent the number of calories that you're eating in the day. So let's take an example of a person who has a maintenance calorie level of 2,500 calories a day. What that means is that person would need to eat 2,500 calories per day in order to keep themselves at the current weight that they are at. In other words, their weight's not going to go up, it's not going to go down, but if they eat 2,500 calories a day, they're going to stay right where they are, no changes on the scale whatsoever. So I'm going to put that line right about here, right across the line, so that's 2,500 calories. Now the big rule when it comes to weight loss and keeping it safe as well as easily doable is to put yourself in the calorie deficit, which is to eat less calories than you would need to eat at maintenance. But you only want to go down a certain range, because here's the thing. When you start eating less calories than you need for maintenance, you're putting just a little bit of stress on your body. So therefore you want to make it only a little bit enough to where you're not starving yourself, you're not stressing your body out too much, you're not raising your cortisol levels too much, but you're just eating enough to where you can still get a good amount of function and nutrition into your body, but it's going to be low enough to where your body responds by saying, you know what, we can do with this, but we're going to have to lose a little bit of this extra baggage, and allows that weight to fall off. So for a person who has a maintenance level of 2,500 calories, generally a good rule of thumb is maybe around 500 calories. So let's just go with that line right here for 2,000 calories. And right off that bat, this person is accepting their numbers, they know what they have to do. So for the first 5 days, the whole work week, Monday through Friday, they keep it at 2,000 calories. Then the weekend hits. Their friends are inviting them out to brunch, or they are going to a big party, or they want to go out to eat and celebrate their week of success. They want to just have a little bit of fun. They ingest alcohol. They get the 12 or 16 ounce steak instead of the 6 or 8. They decide to load up on chips and salsa or potatoes or anything else like that, and they overindulge and they end up overeating, and they go way past their 2,000 calorie mark. A lot of times what happens with that is that they consume so many calories. Guess what's going to happen? I'll tell you what's going to happen. So let's say the person has a really fun weekend and they go all out, no holds barred, they don't even bother tracking their food, they just eat whatever's in sight, and they overeat. That person then ends up eating, let's just say, 3,500 calories. Not just on Saturday, but also on Sunday. Now you're probably thinking, well, I'm good 5 days out of the week. I go a little bit off the rails for 2 days, but I'm still really good twice the number of days, so that's going to be fine, right? Here's the thing. We got to figure out the average. If the person stays at 2,000 calories for 7 days, well, the average number of calories they eat for that week would then be 2,000 calories, right? 2,000 times 7, and then divide that by the number of entries you have. That gives you your average of 2,000 calories. Well, this person had a little bit too much fun over the weekends, unfortunately, and now we have to figure out, like, how does that affect the average? Well, let's go back to our good old friend math. So we got 2,000 calories for 5 days. That gives us 10,000 calories. And now we have to add in the 2 days where you went a little bit overboard. So 3,500 times 2 is 7,000. And that gives us a total of 17,000 calories. So now we have to figure out the average of that total. Well, 7, because of the number of days in the week, into 17,000. And this is where remembering math is so important. So that gives us roughly 2,428 calories a day. Isn't that really close to a number we already discussed? So if our weekly average is 2,428 calories, well, that kind of puts us just underneath the maintenance calorie level. Therefore, this person on their weekly average consumed the amount of calories they would need to stay at their current weight. Therefore, when they get back on the scale on Monday, the Monday after this Sunday, they're gonna wonder, why didn't my weight move? I did everything right for 5 days, I only have fun for 2, so shouldn't that have worked? Not if it's going to affect your weekly average to bring it back to the level of your maintenance calories. That is why it is so important that even on the weekends, you have to make sure that you are still sticking as close to your calorie goals as possible. Now, am I saying that you can't have that one slice of cake, but you're still making sure the rest of the day that you're doing what you need to do to keep your numbers as close to 2,000 calories? Of course not. If you're staying within that range and you're keeping your weekly average to be as close to your calorie deficit goal as possible, that will make it very effective. It's when you go absolutely off the rails and consume everything in sight and really blow past your numbers, and then you affect your weekly average, that is why your weight tends to stay stagnant on the scales if you are dealing with that. You are the sum result, you're the average of the result. Maybe I can get this right if I slow down a little bit. You are the result of the average choices you make per week, week after week after week. If you're trying to make your body weight go down very smoothly and efficiently, you have to look at your weekly average. It's not just the number of calories you're eating per day, plus divide that even further with your macros. You have to look at your weekly average, like how much are you consuming per week. This is why I encourage my clients to look at their weight every single week to see what their weekly average was as an effect on their body weight. That is how you make the numbers work. Because let's face it, if you don't follow the data, if you don't track the data, if you don't see for yourself the evidence that is pretty evident when it comes to just breaking down the numbers, then nothing really changes, or worse, you don't really know what is happening. So you need to take that time to actually investigate and look at all the evidence that we try to provide for you and see how your choices are affecting you on your current journey. So that's what I got for you guys for today. I hope you got something out of this. And if you have more questions on it, please ask me or one of the other trainers in the challenge, because we are here to help make sense of all this for you. okay? We want this to be as legible for you and to make as much sense for you as possible. All right? Thank you guys so much.